It's your boy Trey Wade. Now this is part 2 of the stream that I've officially started. Like I think about an hour or two before. But man, I had like a big blackout in my neighborhood, and I just wanted to get that out of the way before I continue the stream. But trying to remember from where I left off, I was in the middle, I believe, of saying that, or explaining, well, I was actually trying to hop back into a body party, and I was in the middle of explaining the fact that, you know, some Vanguards, like, basically level up quicker depending on the weapon, and taking the, like, paying attention to the small things that you can do to improve the way that you weapon farm and what weapons you choose to farm. It's all jointed together. It's all like, it all correlates to how effective you farm. Alright, so I'm back in Kyoto with Onigiri. I did have a body party earlier. I don't know if I can get one now, but we'll see how many people are online. Here's a body party here. You want to look for a body party that has a good amount of people in it, and it looks like a body party. Every time, to be respectful to people, every time I hop into a party, I try to ask those guys if I can be a body, because some people are just, like, you'll think everything is cool, you'll start the grind, you know what I mean? And the advertisement for the party says, hey, it's a body party, right? You're thinking anybody can join, as long as it's a body party. Nah, sometimes people just like see your name and they're like, oh, they may be jealous of you, or they may be upset about something that you did to them earlier, or, you know, it could be just about anything. You're just like, oh, I don't want to play with anybody else but the people I made this body party for. And that's what communicating or advertising the words reserved really helps out with. When you see reserved, when trying to find a body party or somebody has a party up and you see those words, it basically means that this is reserved for only people that I invite to the party. It's not for everybody. And just in case people start disconnecting from the servers, that's why a lot of people have those parties up in the party recruit, so that in the case of somebody getting disconnected, they can come back when they log in, and just like how I just did, very quickly join back onto the party. So that's why we do that. But okay, as you can see, I got my drop boost. That's the first thing, that's the first check. I only have a few minutes left. I have, what, it's like 4 of us now. If you include me, it's about 4 of us. I'm gonna run another run. Let's see, and this time I was using Frostfang, and he did well. He was doing so well before I got DC, and they just blacked out the entire neighborhood for a minute, and I tried to get back on and did it again. I'm just hoping that I get some luck this time, and I want to continue to stream and finish the stream out. Also got a second video I'm gonna make into the pro tips. I want to also add another boss, another video into my boss series, and give you tips on one of the bosses. I don't know who it is that I have in mind right at this moment, but I want to give you tips on that. I also want to give you guys a very brief video on how to get through this event. It's only like, I think like maybe 1 or 2 days left in this event right now, so it might not be as helpful. It might have been much more helpful back then, but just in case there's another redux, or just for future reference, when you run into a boss very similar or the same boss, it might actually help you out to have these Vanguards to take care of them, or to have this set up for you to take care of them. Although events differ, usually this game does a great job of keeping it close to what it was supposed to be and like originally. So like, say for instance, the boss that you fight in the event is a lizard man, and he's weak to fire per se, and you have something that specializes in fire. You have a fire set up to fight him. Then the next time he comes in a different event, even though it's not the same lizard man, he might be stronger, he might be a little weaker, you know, or he might have a different element or something about him. He should be the same nature as he was before. You might have to switch up the element or two, but you'll still know the nature, and you'll still kind of understand the weakness as you fight him. And for the most part, Oni doesn't change the weakness. They usually change the type of yokai or the type of mob or boss in the dungeon instead, so they won't confuse too many people. There's so many options when it comes to setup with this game. So I'm just using this mount the whole time. There's so many different setups you can have that can put you over the boss and put you over the event and run it smooth and effective. But that's for another video. I want to try to help out with that. So the video is going to be kind of a guide for how did I miss that, yeah? It's going to be kind of a guide for the boss itself, but it's also for the event. So in other words, it's going to be kind of both. It's going to be for the event, so that you guys know how to get through this event. And then it's also going to be for the boss itself. The boss version of the yokai or the monster that I'm presenting to you in the video. So just pay attention to that. I have like this little Onigiri boss encyclopedia of mine where I keep information that I feel like is important for me to know about the bosses when I prepare to fight them. I try to keep that information on me just in case as a reference. So if I forget or something, or if somebody doesn't know this weakness and I forget myself, I have this booklet, this encyclopedia of mine, where I can just look straight into it and just give them the weakness to the boss, give them the nature, give them the setup that they should run, or the setup that I would run rather, that might be able to help them out. But this is just basically the video version of that. And it's good to see, you know, some people are like visual learners, so it's better to show than to tell with some people. So that's the way that I learned better growing up, and I'm a lot better listener than I was growing up. But now it's just like, why not put it in the video form? Why not? That's the question, is like, why not do it? For those that may struggle with that boss or may struggle with that dungeon, I just want to help as many people out as possible. But let's get back to the topic at hand. While I'm on the subject, while I'm on the subject, and I'm trying to remember if I explained to you guys earlier that, you know, with the screen like this, trust me, my screen is a lot smaller than it looks. You guys probably see the full screen. If not, you probably see what I see. But to me, it's harder to hit with these ranged attacks because of the simple fact of this screen being smaller. I'm used to playing on full screen, so I can kind of lock into stuff. I can lock in that range in different distances to ensure that I get a nice attack. I'm starting to get used to it now, though. I really am. I'm trying to get as many weapons to drop as possible. And these weapons are, oh, this is the boss room. But these weapons are just to get used to, just to start weapons off. So I'm gonna show you guys like why I'm starting out with doing this first. Let me actually, I just killed the boss. Yeah, Frost Fame's about to die, so I'm gonna go ahead and let him rest or whatnot. I'm gonna probably run like Raijin through, because Raijin's a little bit faster than Ultron, well, faster than Hound Dog, and he can kill a lot more. Mikami is not a bad mount at all. He just needs to be leveled up. Probably need some more scrolls and whatnot. But I will say I haven't had much luck lately trying to get more scrolls for my other Vanguards. Early into the event, I did have a lot of good luck go my way. And with that being said, I've been able to get stronger not only through the Vanguards, but get a better understanding of a lot of these bosses that will give me trouble, that will proven to give me trouble in the near future without fighting them or not being able to solo them. But now having the ability to do so, not only with the Vanguards, but like just learning their weaknesses and the ins and outs, is just all those tips that I take down is just really helping me out. And I'm gonna share that with a lot of the community or anybody that supports my video, anybody interested in the game. I just want to share that with you guys. So drop boost shouldn't have too much left. So I'm trying to sneak in one more run really quick, and then I'm gonna run over and show you guys why it's better to run into like one of the lower towns. Like I go from Kyoto straight to Azami. Some people go even lower than Kyoto. Some people go probably to like Kishinden. Some people probably go, who knows, like Room of Rights, the first Room of Rights. And there's so many different ways to go about this. So many different ways to go about it. So just hearing it from my mouth may not be the best method, but it will help for beginners. And it might even help or prove to be a better method than some of you vets out there that have been running it. Just try it out for yourself. You can also comment in my videos or while I'm streaming give me some pro tips. I know I'm not all knowing, you know what I mean? So you can give me tips and things that make my runs more effective. Given my platform, and people can learn from, you know, learn the best way. That's what I'm here for. Trying to give them a very good method, or the best method that I see fit, to giving them the upper hand. I'd rather for them to know than to not know and to struggle, so that everyone like knows the right way to do things. Like I said, we all put our heads together and communicate the best ways to go about doing these things. You know, it just makes for a stronger community. A stronger community is good. A stronger community is like, I feel like it's more together. You know, no one is too far from each other in terms of like power and whatnot. Everybody can kind of give each other a helping hand. I think it's really cool. His swings are kind of unorthodox, and I'm not used to Makame's basic attacks. I'm very new to Makame. I actually got him during this event, and I got him pretty recently. As you can see, he's only like a level, like 18, 17, whatnot. So I haven't had much experience with him as of yet. But I'm definitely willing to learn. So I can help others out when they first get Makame. That's with leveling him up. That's with understanding what moves do what. I try to get, I'm getting most of like the videos that I'm making now. It's like general knowledge videos. But if you guys do request like certain videos or want me to elaborate on certain areas of the game more so than others, then let me know in the comments. Let me know in the chat of the stream. Drop a message to me in my PSN. It's the same as my stream name, Treyway Zep. You'll find me. I got a LeBron James PSN account logo, so it's not really hard to find me. But like I said, I don't have too many followers at this point, so I won't be too distracted to the point where I won't reply to you. I definitely will. I think I'm getting closer to affiliation, if not affiliated and whatnot, on Twitch. I'm gonna probably do some more Twitch streaming. I'll probably save that portion for tomorrow. But I did want to get these videos out of the way so that these could be used as like references, not just for you guys, but for myself as well. Whenever I don't have this encyclopedia around and somebody asks me for some information and I don't know off the top of my head, I can actually just look up my old video and kind of let them know, or I can show them my video or show them one of the community members' video and say, hey, this is how they got it done, so this should help you out. Yeah, that drop boost is out, so I'm definitely not picking up as many weapons as I was picking up before, but I'm still happy to be in here doing this. And even without a drop boost, with the people in the party, it's still helping me to get more weapons than I would originally, being running this solo. without any more people in the party. But drop boosts always help for anything that drops in dungeons, I would say. Anything that drops in dungeons. For special events, some events have it geared more so for, oh, I can't use him anymore. But it's okay, I have heard. Alright, let's keep going. I think that's the boss room. I'm missing something though, because I'm seeing some opponents. Oh, that was a chest. I'm slow. But anyway, let me hop out of this dungeon. I used it as a body, and that's the first step. That's the first step into weapon farming. You want to get the weapons. You gotta know where you want to get your weapons. You gotta know how much Ryu you have to budget. As far as like identifying the weapons. All those things, all those little things can factor in and really help out. It can really help out. And I'm trying to be as blunt as I can, so I don't waste your time at all. I'm trying to be as informational as possible. Alright, here we go. Alright, I just left Nishigera. I'm about to find the crystal. I'm trying to remember where this crystal is. I think there's one up here, right up top. Find them out. Might have been one back in the other direction too. There's a crystal somewhere over here. Can't remember exactly where it's located, if I'm being honest. I think it's one back there. Oh, I just passed it. Wow. I guess I didn't give it time to load, or I just missed it. But anyway, I'm gonna go to Kurama Tea House, which is right up here up top. Every time you pass Kyoto, a lot of your, or all your partners should show. From the main story, all your partners should show in this area. Kurama Tea House. What you want to remember is the Kurama Mountain. So to get started with these weapons, if you guys didn't know, I believe I did explain identifying in a past video, but if not, I'll go back and see if I did or not, and then I'll cover that area with the video as well. But I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to do it. Okay, so you want to go in on identify, right? You want to, of course, not do too many dungeons to the point where you don't know where the weapons come from. That's what I really love about this game, is that it's very everything's very specific. Like, as you can see, these are unidentified weapons, but you can tell, it tells you exactly where they came from, which dungeon they dropped in, and basically from there, it's up to you to be responsible with how you farm. So these are the the two sections or two areas of weapons I'm gonna work with. Like I said, Azami and Nishigera, with Azami being the harder dungeon, the more grindy, with more weapons. Both are really good spots. I did I did quite a bit of Azami farming earlier with a group of friends, and we did a great job of farming. I'm gonna probably do a lot more farming because I got a lot of new Vanguards. I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna showcase to you guys, and I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna level them up. But this is the first thing you want to get your hands on. As you can see, look at the difference in Ryu as you go up on this list of unidentified weapons. You see the difference in numbers. A zombie's like tens to just scraping the hundred thousands of Ryu, and you drop all the way down here to Kyoto, and it's like, wow, this not even in the thousands to identify, which is a good look. But the reason why you want to start here first for new Vanguards is because it doesn't take a very strong weapon. It just really takes the right weapon. So what I'm going to do is show you guys how to identify basically from the Vanguard menu. Most of the Vanguards, some Vanguards are within guess if it's like in a special event, which I got a Kade. I got her 100. She's got 3 scrolls. You know, I got pretty lucky there. She's been very useful, and I want to keep building off of her. Just waiting for more scrolls. I only need 2 more scrolls for her, and I can have her 5 scroll maxed out. Very good with fire. But from this parameters list, this is all the information you need to know about your Vanguard's ability. This is about the Vanguard's ability. Or potential rather. I'm gonna go over to special. Let's see, who do I want to? Okay, so Mia, for example, let's take Mia, which I already have her summoned right now. If you actually switch over from the parameters tab while trying to level up a Vanguard, switch to the edit skills tab, you will see a weapon on display. Usually, not 100%, but I'd say a good 75% or more, the odds are the weapon that is displayed right here in this box is the weapon that they wield. And with that weapon, it actually is an indicator of what weapon to give them when you're leveling them up. So say Mia like swords, correct? I'm trying to give you the example of what I'm talking about. So say she likes swords, she's a level 75, so you don't want to use Kyoto weapons, which are low level weapons. Level of the weapon does it does matter only in when it doesn't help level the Vanguard up. So switch back to parameters. This is how you start leveling up your weapon. You can do it with these Kampai towels. I don't know. I really don't know how to pronounce that. I'm not gonna lie to you. But you get these items from events. Usually they're in the item exchange of events. They have them in the item gotchas for events. They have them in as presents of some sort in events that take place. But you can use these. There's a bronze version too that you can use. There's 3 different tiers of that. You can use bronze, just like weapons. You can use bronze, you can use silver, and you can use gold items. They all help, they all work, but with these are kind of rare. They can take place of items. In using these, you don't really have to use Ryu, so it really helps. Also, they raise it pretty significantly for the Vanguard's affection levels, but again, you want to be very precise in how you use these. You want to be more conservative with these rather than the weapons. The weapons you can kind of get at any time. It doesn't take any energy to go into these dungeons that I just, well, that dungeon Nishidera that I just showed you, or to run into a zombie with a party of friends. It doesn't take any energy to do it. You can do it at any time. It's not gonna, the only thing that it's gonna do is just require you to have enough durability to kill the mobs in the dungeon. That's all. Which we repair weapons all the time. It's no big deal. But with these are limited. You can't just get them anywhere. You know, you gotta conserve these for times of, you know, desperate measures or something you need. You can just use weapons at any time though, and that's the good thing about it. So it's easy to use weapons and then use these for like, say you farmed like a crap ton of weapons and you just so close, you just that close to getting them maxed out, and you're just like, dang, yo, what can I do now? I don't want to run back in there and spend another half hour trying to get what I need, when you can clearly see that the weapons have, it takes too many weapons to level them up at this point. You can start using these items in place of the weapons, and it basically still does the same thing that a weapon would do, only it's kind of increased, I would say. But that's just the item portion of it. We're on the weapon leveling, or we're on the weapons to level up the Vanguards. And so remember earlier we seen that Mia's emblem for weapon, or the weapon that she uses, was main sword. So what we're gonna do, she's level 75, this is the zombie weapon. I'm gonna click the sword tab, and it's gonna show me all of the swords that I have in my inventory. Artisan treasure swords, any sword that I have. But you wanna be careful. Sometimes if you had, like say if you're a sword user for instance, you do not wanna accidentally give her one of your like crafted swords or something, you know, by accident, just because you're going through all these weapons, because it'll get grindy at times, especially like when you get up there in level, like level 75. It might take me more than one sword to upgrade her, but you don't want to slip up and accidentally give her something that you've been working on for the past like week or so, you know, trying to level up. So that's what you want to do, is you want to mark these boxes. Like say for instance, I didn't want to give her the Dude Doll. I would just check that, and what it'll do before you feed that weapon is that it won't even allow it. As you can see, it said cannot give the present because it is registered as one of your favorites. So in checking, what you want to do before you do all of this is check any weapon that you do not want to slip up and give away. You do not, like say if you're half asleep, you've been grinding all day, you do not want to slip up and give an important weapon away that you cannot take back, because they will take your weapon. It may help, you know what I mean, it may help with the Vanguard, but you might have just lost one of the most important weapons, you know, that you've been working on. You don't want to get that away. So you can use that, check that box off as a favorite. But see how much, this is just one weapon. Let's see. Yeah, now it's just one weapon. Okay, so the poison ubai, but let me show you the difference. Okay, so this is the zombie weapon, right? And you can see where, like if I were to just feed her this one weapon, you see where this bar goes. Now, take this other sword for instance. Even though she likes swords, you see where this is going. This is not going anywhere. And this is a lower level weapon. You can see the difference in power just off of the base attack. This base attack is at almost 4K, right? This base attack is like 289, so it's almost apparent, it's very obvious that this is a lower level weapon. This is level 25 and this is a level 92 weapon. Two totally different areas. One is definitely has a higher power load. And so with that being said, you want to keep feeding them weapons at a lower level until you get one of these. When you try to feed them that lower level weapon and it's like not working, then that means it's time to upgrade your weapons. It's time to go farm somewhere where the weapons will, when you feed her these swords, then she'll actually level up for you. So that's what you need to pay attention to. Otherwise, you're just wasting your Ryu, which you use to identify the weapon in the first place, and it's just like countering whatever you were trying to accomplish. And you can use it on like a new Vanguard that's like a level 1 or something, and you just save out on a lot of Ryu weapons inventory. But yeah, my main goal is to get all of these Vanguards that I have to about like a level 80. That's my main goal. And when I do get them to 80, that's when I kind of stop and see if I can get scrolls for them. Getting them to like level 90 and 100 is just so tedious. Trust and believe, it's so tedious. And in order to get them past that in order to get them past that tier, it's like, it's just annoying. I'm gonna reply to them. Is that voice chat? I would just let them. Yeah, let me get back into it. Alright, so we're still on Mia. She's at 77 now, and as you can see, she was leveling up pretty well. Go back to the sword tab, you know. If you decide to give her like something else, sometimes you might find that she will level up for you with other weapons. Other than the one that you've seen in the emblem when we checked out the parameters, or I mean edit skills rather. But you know, usually they don't level her up as much as the weapon that she initially wields. And that's just a pro tip there that I want you guys to take from this video. When you do find it or you look it up, more than likely if you do find this video, you either supported me or you definitely looked it up, or you definitely played this game and it might help you out in a way. This is 78. I almost got her to the goal of 80, and you'll see a lot of my Vanguards I'll keep at 80 for a while. The reason I keep them at 80 is because that's basically a nice little threshold that I keep. So it's like most of the zombie weapons will get a Vanguard up to about level 80, and then after you want to progress past 80, it usually takes so many weapons to get them even remotely close to the next tier, which will be 90 in this case. And it's just tedious. Like I said, you see how many weapons I'm already putting in, and it's only 78. This is like what I don't even. This is like almost 10 swords already. Then you can put up to like 20 weapons before you have to reset it. Yeah, I think that's like 20 swords right there. That's already 20 weapons, and it's only a 78, so I literally got 2 more levels to go. And another thing for reference is that you seen how I went from 78 and I'm about to increase to 79. This is a big indicator of when there's about to be a huge jump in numbers of weapons that you have to put in order to level up that Vanguard. Is that you see there's like 78, or you see 77, there's this one little small tier, there's not that much space, and then 79, there's not that much space from 78 and 79. But you see this huge gap right here. You see this huge jump from 79 to 81. You see this huge jump. It's good that you get all of these awakenings, you get all these scrolls, you get this, like, you get an extra weapon and everything. It looks pretty cool. You get extra skills. Fighting ability rises, get stronger. You get more time to use the Vanguard. It's nice and all, but keep in mind, this big gap is also an XP gap too. So what that means is that it's going to take more weapons to get them past 80. And let's just say from 80 and up, it's like, you say for instance, I got him at 80, I got her at 80, and I'm trying to get her to 90. Even though this is a small gap from 80 to 81, trust and believe when I tell you this. It may be a small gap in between, but that number of weapons is not going to change. It's only going to go up. The number of weapons that it's going to take to level the Vanguard up is going to go up. And not only that, it's a difference in power. As you can see, there's a difference in power. Like all the way down, going down, leveling up, it says raises fighting ability, raises fighting ability, raises fighting ability. So there's a difference in power, meaning that along with what you're feeding into the Vanguard, it has to increase in weapon power as well. So you gotta get better weapons to feed to the Vanguard, if that makes any sense to you guys. Since I have a great amount of experience in this game, I kind of can understand where each weapon is coming from. So I can kind of pinpoint, and I already know a lot of the names of the weapons in the game. After all, I'm a weaponsmith, so I pride myself on crafting weapons for myself. And if people feel as though they don't want to craft a weapon, or rather for somebody else to do it, I'll do it for OC. So if you want a weapon, you can request it from me. If I'm not strong enough to make the weapon, I'll just let you know right off. Like, it's not worth, wasting your time saying that I can and I can't. I'm just going to tell you, hey, you might want to ask another weaponsmith, because this one right here is not strong enough for that yet. But I can do, I try to do things like, if they need mats for that weapon, I can sell them the mats so that they can get their hands on the weapon to get stronger, stuff like that. I don't mind doing stuff like that, but anything that I can help you out or anybody in the community out and getting a weapon, just let me know. I don't mind making it. If it's within my power range, I'll make it myself. I'll personalize it for you. I'll ask you what skills you like on it. I'll farm on it and work towards it. If it's too out of my way, I'll let you know. And if it's not out of my way, I'll let you know how much time it'll be before I can make the weapon for you in game. But yeah, that's just an example. I am going to get Mia to 80 so I can finally stop leveling her up for a bit and give these other Vanguards that I have at lower levels a chance. All the guys that are at 100 are maxed out for me, and all they need is scrolls put into them. Some of them do have scrolls, some of them don't. But the goal is always to get them to 100 and keep feeding them scrolls. Or whenever you do get a scroll, you definitely don't want to give them the scroll right away. You want to level them up first. So say for instance I get a an extra scroll for Venus here, right? Then when I put that scroll into her, it'll put her at level 90. But say I only got that one scroll and I haven't been getting any luck for the longest time to get Venus to 100. So I only got that one scroll for her. So what I'll do is I'll sit here and take my time and level her up from 80 to 90, so that when I get her to 90 finally, which will take some time, then I can use that scroll and it'll max her out at 100 and she'll have 2 awakenings. It'll take time, but it's still very worth it versus somebody that's taking that scroll, that one scroll, and just putting them to level 90, and then there'll be 2 awakenings level 90. They won't even be maxed out. Then they will have to depend on that extra scroll to max out that Vanguard. And you don't want to do that because it's kind of a trap, you know, it's kind of a setup. It'll make the Vanguard so much weaker until, or it'll make the Vanguard handicap until you can get your hands on that extra scroll whenever you do. And they are very rare, the scrolls are rare. So let me go ahead and identify some more. I always start out with like the bronze weapons first. Just to let you guys know. I just go straight to 20. I do like a set amount. I cleared out a lot of my inventory so I could take in a lot of weapons. But a lot of these weapons that I am identifying will repeat themselves. As you can see, I did feed like 35 different swords of the same type to Mia, and so it's not really taking up any space in my inventory. I'm gonna do it like one more time. So it's not just giving me swords. As you can see, you got your bows in there, you got your axes in there. There's a lot of things that you can jot down and you can note. And as I go up, and like as I start identifying like silver and gold zombie weapons, you'll see a difference and pattern of identifying. You'll probably see more axes, you'll probably see more spears, probably see more bows, you know, things like that. Stuff to pay attention to. Every little thing in this game is like down to detail, and that's what I like about it. And again, you always want to switch to that tab, check off. I'm not a sword user, so most of these swords won't bother me to give away anyways. It doesn't really bother me much. But whenever I'm like upgrading a Vanguard that is in love with bows, me being a dominant or primary bow user, I definitely have those bows already checked off that I do not want to give away, because you could do it easily on accident. You do very easily. Alright, so she's finally 80. I'm gonna keep her at 80. Hopefully get some more scrolls. When I get them all to 80, that's why Venus is at 80. You know, when I get them to 80, then I start on others, basically. Alright, so we go back to Hulu, and she's very good for fire element. As you can see, her fire element is plus 100. That is a ridiculous amount of fire elements. She's also got holy, she's got impact, she's got slice, she's got flight. Like, she is overpowered. Like, she's really, really overpowered. With her having flight, that means Hoyu can actually deal some damage to people like Abyss. Abyss is a boss that's weak to flight. He's weak to mountain. He's one of the main in-game bosses, and if you can effectively run him, you can get one of the most powerful weapons in the game, and that's why he's so important to conquer. People like him, he's got fire element, a lot of things weak to fire late game, and the more element that you can hold or be effective with, the better, honestly. So she's gonna be a big team player and making me stronger so I can make better weapons for the community, not just for myself. Yes, I will be selling weapons, or in a sense, so I'll be profiting from helping people out, but it's still helping them out. It's not like I'm gonna be, and with saying that, I'm not gonna be overpricing things for people. It's gonna be more so for what it's worth. It's gonna, like, the amount of work that I have to put in to make the weapon, or let me just say this, the harder it is to make the weapon, the more OC I might ask for. But I'm gonna be reasonable about it. We might be able to trade other items to make the deal even more plausible, you know, or make more sense. Then, you know, it's other things we can negotiate to make it happen, because I enjoy making weapons for myself and for others. It's something that I found out that I like to do. So with that being said, I make that my trade, and the game helps me out, helps them out. They get their weapon, and they get the weapon that they want, made exactly the way they want, and I get some OC in return for my hard work, and you know, it's just a good look. I just help somebody out. They get stronger. I get a little bit more game wealthier, but you know, I don't mind helping people at any time do stuff. But just in the means of like convenience, they can always request something. I'm doing too much explaining. I'm getting too deep into this, man. You can tell I have a passion for this. But this is a lower level. Try to get you up. This is a lower level Vanguard. So, in saying so, what I'm gonna go ahead and do is, why did I go to Yoshizune? What I'm gonna go ahead and do is identify some of these Nishigera weapons that I got my hands on. Which I'm hoping, I'm counting on there to be like more like twin swords and other different weapon types in there that I can give away. To who you will identify a good amount. This last little group I'm gonna do right here of weapons, and then I'm gonna see if these weapons are effective in leveling you, which I'm hoping. May or may not. But trust me, all weapons are useful. Whether you believe it or not, they are useful. Okay. And as you can see, I'm gonna go back to this as a reference. Right now, she's in love with twins, but you also can see that she likes bows, she likes Ogati. So all three of those tabs should work for giving her weapons, but I'm pretty sure the primary is twin, secondary is bow, and last but not least, the Odachi is what she'll accept. It also says in getting more scroll for, which I do have, you're able to choose a different style in which you summon her, and with doing so you get to use a different weapon or play a different way with the weapon when swapping to her, which is going to be cool. When I do swap to her, I'm probably going to switch her over to bow. But the bad part about it, the only bad part about it, is that I'm gonna have to level her up first before I use that scroll, because I've only gotten one more scroll for, and she does take a lot to level up. Yeah, let me go back to parameters. So I'm gonna check those 3 boxes I seen, right? I'm gonna first start out with the twin swords, right? Then I'm gonna go with the bow, which I'm a bow user. Remember I told you guys earlier in this video, I check off all of the weapons that I know that I don't want to give away. All the others is kind of like, if I do make the mistake of giving them away, it's like, it's not as bad. But yeah, I'm gonna check those off. Anything that's in your class that you've been working on. And then last but not least, Dachi is what it said that she would accept. I'm gonna try to get these twin swords out the way first though. Let's see what happens. As you can see, it was just enough. Now he's 26. Now I'm gonna find out from the others. I'm gonna try to start out with the lower level weapons. So what I'm gonna do with this tab right here is I'm gonna click on the attack. It's gonna go from the most attack to the least attack. So all I gotta do is scroll toward the bottom, and closer to the bottom I will find all of the weapons that came from Nishidera, which is fine. Yep. You see, look at how much that increased. That's great. I don't want to give this one away yet because it has like a special symbol. Also, keep in mind this is another pro tip. Some of these weapons do not have this symbol, so what that means is that they're not rare at all. They're not rare weapons to come across. You want to use as many of these up, or it's more effective to use the rare weapon to see how much of the bar it'll take up, and fill, you know, whatever's left, you just take and fill these other weapons that aren't very rare up with that misplaced XP. Because if you just take, you know, for example, I just put in that other rare bow and I just put this rare Samahata, then yeah, I just wasted a whole Samahata, which could probably fill up the next level completely, or fill it up just about the same way. Yeah, so you definitely want to use the rare weapons first. Just like I said, look at how rare it's a rare weapon. It's supposed to do stuff like that, gets it to the next level, you know, and use the others to fill in. But in this case, yeah, it helps out with the level. It's not too hard to get my hands on these weapons. But I'm curious to see what this weapon does by itself. See, as you can see, it goes up slightly. But it's not to the point where she won't accept the weapon because it's too low of a level. And that's a good thing. That's a very good thing. That's why I don't want to give her the zombie weapons, If she can get full off of one of these, this is still from the same dungeon, Nishidera, and it's only a rare weapon, but it fills the entire bar up. Then I definitely don't want to give her the higher level weapons from a zombie. Because as you can see, if you just give her that, yeah, it'll give her a whole tier, but it's a waste when you could have identified something like this that literally is like over 80,000. You know, you could have saved 80,000 Ryu to identify this weapon versus the other. You could have gave her this weapon and not that one, and saved that one for Vanguard that's a higher level. So it makes all the difference, honestly. And I'm gonna use this right here as an indicator of how much XP I actually need, because it's such a rare weapon. The Samahad is probably one of the best weapons from Nishidera, let alone Kyoto. So I'm gonna use this as like a indicator of how much XP I still need. And as soon as one of these weapons become ineffective, it's time to upgrade, pretty much. Well, I'm gonna go like, when this is ineffective, I'm gonna try this Samahada, and when the Samahada is not effective, then it's time to upgrade. I didn't mean to do that. There we go. But as you can see, there's a difference. I was just using those twin swords, right? And it only took me about 2 to 3 twin swords to level. I see a difference, a slight difference in the amount of XP that they're willing to accept, or that Huyu is willing to accept. It's 4 Odachis now. It's 4 Odachis, so just pay attention to what I'm doing. Having all of these, like paying attention to all of this, can help you be a great, like, it'll just help you significantly with leveling up Vanguard. It'll give you so much knowledge just trying new things. Look at how many it's taking of the bow. Taking 5 bows. But I bet if I had some more twin swords to feed, then and with that being her favorite weapon, it probably wouldn't be as bad. I'm not gonna go up to the top though. You see the attack is going up like crazy from here to here. Head up. And remember, I still got some more Nishidera weapons, so we're still in Nishidera. And look at that. That's a rare bow. That's a rare bow. So that really helped out. I don't want to give away any Onino Dachis. I actually, no, never mind. I don't want to give away those because they help craft some of the best or strongest weapons in the game. Don't want to give those away. Alright, and I do want to save that Samahada, so we'll go ahead and identify some more weapons. Because I don't want to just give that ultra rare weapon away just yet. But more than likely it's going to be an entire tier. Alright, so we'll identify some more of these weapons. We'll do this about 4 groups of weapons. You see there's some more rare weapons in there. that just got identified, so that's good. It's always good to get those rare weapons. Even though this is the bronze category, you still got rare weapons in the bronze category. But the higher the tier that you identify them in, usually they come out more powerful. And that's just something that I'm gonna try to save more so for another video, an identification, if I start on that. Just do the rest of these bronze weapons. There we go. So now we're done with all our bronze Nishidera weapons. But let's see how long it takes for Huyu to not accept these weapons anymore. And remember, we're saving a lot of Ryu right now. We're saving a lot of Ryu, trust and believe, by doing it this way, instead of just going straight to the zombie weapons, which we know is going to give another level, but we're saving a lot of Ryu that way. I'm gonna actually summon Huyu so that every time that I come back to this screen, it should have me hovering over Huyu. It's always good to remember for reference. Twin sword first, bow second, Dachi last. We wanna go down to the bottom. You see that drop? You don't want to get rid of the Samahatas yet, or any of the rare weapons yet. Especially if you're trying to fill up that bar. Now once you fill up that bar, you can always try to see what it'll show. See, it's still full bar, so there's no telling how much XP that thing will give it. And remember, these are twin swords. You see 2 twin swords is like already past half a bar for level 33, and that's crazy, right? We still got some more twin swords to cover, but I'm just gonna feed them all. I'm not gonna be that strategic about it. There's no reason to do that. But just remember to not give out all the rare weapons. Don't give all the rare weapons just going down the list. Only use them when you know for certain you're gonna need them. Because you can use those as like more XP basically. Now, from the last time that I tested the ice heavy Rattan bow, it actually never filled up a bar, and that was at a much lower level. So as you can see, look, even though it's a rare weapon, it's not as rare as the Samahata. The Samahata is a different symbol. Actually, the amount of rarity that this item holds is, I believe, a legendary weapon. It's a legendary weapon from this area of Kyoto. It's a legendary weapon. This is more so rare. If you see a red one, it's like very rare, and then this is like this gold emblem here is like legendary. So if you see a blue star, it's like a rare weapon. You see a red star, it's like a very rare weapon, and when you see this gold, it's legendary. And so therefore you just know it's going to be more XP. So taking your time to do this could save you a lot of time and a lot of Ryu. I'm gonna keep that Samahata around because it's legendary. Now we'll be back to identifying some more weapons. I love voice chatting with people, but I don't want to distract myself from making progress. I know I'm doing this as a reference to you guys, but this is also like in the process, I'm trying new things. I'm, you know, finding out things as I'm doing this too. That's why I do it live. But I make sure I upload it to YouTube so that it can serve as a reference for other people, or even for myself. Remind myself. All right, so silver Nishidaras. I'll do like as many groups of that I can. Got some rare weapons in there too, and all of the other categories like the axes and the spears. Trust and believe that's going to be for like other Vanguards that like those weapons too. Hey, why not, bro? Why not, Fang? And thank you for the comment too, man. Thanks for checking me out. It's a pretty good game, man. It's better with friends too, I will say that. They're actually coming out with a lot of events that's gonna make players very strong early on, especially like they come in. All they gotta do is find a friend or get their hands on some power, make some progression in the game, and they can literally get very strong very quick with these events that are coming up. So these are like for players that want to stick around or find the game very fun. You don't want to miss out. I think this event that we have now is going to be taken away in about 2 days, I believe. Hey, but you can also make friends. You can also make friends on here. It's a pretty friendly community. A lot of strong people in the community. Might make friends with one of the best players, the most credible players in the game. You never know. And they can easily make this a fun game for you. People like myself, I help people all the time. Just being the person that I am, I just help people. Why not? I steer them in the right direction. I help them out, give them tips in the game, like I'm trying to do with this video. And it's all in the means of fun. Let's see. Might as well start with the gold, but no, I'm gonna start feeding these weapons in first. Silver lining, yeah, that's definitely her. So I remember those weapons: twin sword, bow, Odachi. In the case that I do DC, I'll probably start the stream back up, and I'll just joint the videos together when I go back into YouTube tomorrow, when I'm going back to edit these videos for everybody. And I'll just joint the videos up, because it's just going to probably be like 1 or 2 parts. I want to just keep it like a whole thing. It's a long video. Nobody's going to watch an entire hour. Let's see. So I already go to attack, tab, scroll down. And now I got 2 Samaras, which is really good. But you can see, as a reference, it's still filling up the entire bar. You don't know how much XP I put into it. I always use that as like a reference. But I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna try it again, but I'm gonna use it after I fill this bar up. Okay. This part of the game, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's a little geeky, it's a little nerdy, it's a little boring to some, because it's not like this action, but it makes or break, you know, somebody being overpowered, basically. It just makes or breaks somebody, just knowing how to do stuff like this. If you take the time to do stuff like this, it really helps. Okay, now we can see how much XP that the Samahara will put in. Now we're getting to the tier of her kind of needing more XP from these weapons. Now we can see how much XP she needs. This is the legendary weapon from this area in Kyoto. So that basically lets us know where she is now. And we're gonna use those weapons in a bit. But we don't want to use the rare weapons right now. Oh, I can only use one of them. It's good. Alright, so let's see how many of these we can put in. And this won't fill it up. Or I'll just do this thing. I might identify some more weapons. Alright. And this is more so like a reference video. I should have farmed more of these weapons. But this should be enough of Nishidera weapons to get me through Huyu. Which I was thinking when I was going to level Huyu up. I was having this video in mind. I was like, why not go ahead and make a pro tip video for people that don't know how to level up Vanguards. It might help them out. Nope, not that, no. Alright. Alright, we're all set. And I'm gonna skip it. So you're getting on Onigiri or you're getting off? Hit that attack tab. Okay, got you. Alright, I'll see you around for sure, man. And thank you for checking out the stream. If I see you around, my in-game name is Sublime Arrow. You'll see me around. You run into me if you need anything, let me know. I'm a weaponsmith, so I like to make weapons. If you need any weapons, just let me know. See what I can do for you. Yeah, this is perfect to level her. These are all rare too. Like, look at this. This is perfect. They all level her up. These are all legendary weapons from this area. And they're twin swords, which is the primary weapon that she loves. That's perfect. Gotta find more spots like this. I'm pretty sure these things are probably like, since they're twin sword, look, that's just like a whole level. It's ridiculous. But this is also a legendary weapon. So this kind of proves my theory earlier from when I was talking about the weapons that she loves, right? And in the order that they go, it kind of proves my theory from earlier. Twin sword is first, right? Bow is like second, and Odachi's third. And you see the difference. They both legendary weapons. One fills it up, which is the twin sword, which primary is right now, without putting another scroll in. And this is like her third tolerance, basically. And it still goes up a lot. But almost at this point, it looked like we only got like rare weapons, which is good, because that's all gold weapons. That's good. And you know, it doesn't take anything to identify these weapons. And if they come in, if they're dropping like this from that dungeon, it's really not that hard. And think about all of the other rare like axes that I got from that dungeon. Think about all of the rare spears, all of the rare wands that I got from that dungeon. They can level up other Vanguards that I'm not using at all. I'm not using those weapons right now at all. I'm only using the Odachis, I'm only using the twin swords and the bows from Nishidera. Only from Nishidera. And it's gotten her to 42. Only from Nishidera. She's 42. She's level 42 already. Remember, I haven't even went into my Azami weapons, which you've seen. I'm pretty sure anybody that's seen or been watching, I had a bunch of Azami weapons from earlier. Anybody that sees this in the future on my YouTube channel, I had a bunch of Azami weapons that I didn't even go into yet. So that's why all of this is worthwhile. Like, I don't have to, I just have to take my time here. I have to do less farming, you know what I mean? It takes time, but it's still worth it, because in the end I'm saving Ryu and I don't have to do too much. And I knew, some told me in my head this would be enough to get her to about 50, so I could start using the Azami weapons. So usually when I get them to 50, then I start putting in Azami weapons, is what I normally do. See, look at this now. See, there's a big gap. There's a big gap. Now she probably will only take, this is still from Nishidera. So don't get it twisted. This is still from Nishidera. But this is a rare weapon. Remember I said rare weapons are blue. The very rare weapons will have a even bigger star like this. And then the legendary weapons will have this golden icon. So this is a rare weapon from Nishidera, which doesn't even register at level 50, right? So that means I need something more powerful. If I were to go find a red, then I can test that one out to see if it did anything. I didn't get many reds at all, or very rare weapons. I got a lot of legendaries though, which is even better. But as you can see, it took about 3 legendaries to level up to level 50. So what does that kind of tell you? It's telling you that, yeah, the legendary weapons will work, but it's getting closer to the point of, yeah, I'm not taking no more Nishidera weapons because they're too low of a level. I want Azami weapons, or I want Kaga weapons, or I want Echigo weapons. You know? And that's where you just save those weapons for like other Vanguards, basically. But just to speed things up, and plus I don't have any more Nishidera weapons right now, and I don't want to farm for any more weapons right this moment. I just wanted to get her up to 50 because I plan on doing this anyway. I'm gonna go ahead and start feeding these other weapons. I'm gonna take the twin swords out because I don't have, from a zombie, there's not really twin swords. It's more like bow. Not really many Odachis either, so take the Odachi out. You like bow. And look, this is a zombie weapon. This is a zombie weapon. This is a rare weapon, but look at the attack power. Look at the attack power. It's the other one didn't register, but this one is still so much stronger. And it's like it's going up. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. It's really going up from 50. But you would think that it would go straight from Nishidera to zombie, right? Where like I put one of these in and like it'll be a full bar. But no, it's not like that. Not like that at all. Especially with these Vanguards that are very strong. Yeah. That's why I wanted to do it that way. And it saved me a lot of weapons. It saved me a lot of value. It saved me a lot. I got 50 albatross bows from a zombie right now. And this is all in the means of upgrading Huyu. That's kind of the reason I started weapon farming. And trust and believe, I got a lot more of these weapons to identify. The only thing that's bad about leveling up Vanguards is when you start to get it up there where you want it to be. Like you seen from earlier with Mia, she was eating like 20 swords. 20 swords easy. And that's a lot of weapons. And the amount is only going up. You see, we're at 5 now. We're at level 55, we're eating 5 bows. See how long we stay at 5. Now we're at 56. Still at 5. That's good. Now we're not at 5. It's going to take about 6. But we're very close to level 60, so it kind of makes sense. So it's like every tier is like one of these this is a very rare weapon now. This is a very rare bow, as opposed to that rare bow with the blue emblem on it. So this is still a step up, but it kind of makes sense. Tell me if it's not making sense though. Drop a comment, let me know if it's not making sense. Yeah, it's so close too. Look at it. It's like an inch away. So close. But it's okay because I have so many of these still waiting. It's okay. I literally did this solely to get Huyu up as quickly as I can. Alright, I'm gonna go, she's at level 62. That's a big jump from where we started. Remember, she started at level 25, but with all those, she took all the Nishidera whips, which I expected her to, because I'm trying to get her to a level 80 or higher. Trying to get her to a level 80 or higher. prefer to get her up to 90, which is gonna take a long time, but I try to keep the threshold at 80. Like I said, so I can feed other Vanguards up to 80, and then when everybody's like closer to 80, and it's like whatever I have left, I try to give it back to the Vanguard that I have scrolls for. Or if I'm like super desperate, then I'll just feed everything to that one Vanguard that I'm trying so hard to have leveled up or maxed out. But I try to not do it that way because it still will end up in wasting weapons, which can be tedious to farm in the first place when you have as many Vanguards as I have. Like, I didn't choose to have this many Vanguards, it's just been my luck. Like, they just give me, instead of giving me scrolls for these Vanguards, they give me they give me a bunch of other Vanguards, new Vanguards. But the only good thing about this is that at some point, I mean, they keep adding new Vanguards, and I hate the fact that they keep adding so many Vanguards because there's already too many Vanguards. But at some point, it's like you gotta start giving me scrolls for the Vanguards I already have, because I literally would have them all. So it's like at some point they gotta give you scrolls for these Vanguards, and hopefully not the same scrolls, and which I've known. I got a friend that he has like a surplus of scrolls that he can't even use, which is stupid, but you know, he can't control what he gets. He could try to trade it in, but good luck on that. It probably ain't gonna help that much. This is the last stack I'm gonna do for right now, and I'm gonna sort through it, try to give them away. Alright, so since you guys kind of got an idea of how to break down and level up these Vanguards, I'm gonna do it in a succession. I'm gonna do it on continuous, and you guys just kind of follow through. So we're not doing too bad. We're at level 66. We started at 25, now we're at 66, so almost 70. That's good. We're almost there. We're almost there. As you can see, it's taking a lot more weapons though, right about now. But that's good. You know, we already prepared for that beforehand, and this is what it's all about. This is what it's all about right here. Alright, so we're now into our zombie weapons. And it's all fine. I can't wait to use these other weapons that I have. I'm gonna have a lot of axes, I'm gonna have a lot of swords, I'm gonna have a lot of spears. And I can use to blow up someone else. What time is it? Just thinking about this. See, it's 2:30. Nah, I'm probably not gonna run the event tonight. I'll probably make a really early in the morning run and stream. I'm gonna get off in a few. I'm so excited, but anyway, let's get back into it. Special we cannot no. Let me get back into this. We actually finished. Well, we'll just end with this. I'm gonna end this video, guys. I was just getting so into this conversation and talk about some cool stuff. I don't know if you guys been reading the context, but yeah, I don't mean to put our conversation out there. They probably don't even know I'm streaming, but yeah. This video helped at all, guys, please give it a thumbs up, give me a like, give me a comment. Let me know how I can improve these videos. I know they're probably long and boring. You probably don't even get to the end of this video. But in the chances of you getting to the end, guys, I really, really appreciate you spending the time with me, being very loyal and helping me out with the views and whatnot. Please be interactive with me. I want to be interactive with you guys. I'm a member of the community, the Onigiri community. I play other games as well. I'll probably upload some other games that I'll play. Guys, just send that support my way, and more videos are coming very, very soon. Very, very soon. All right, guys. I hope this helped out a lot of you guys. Until next time, I'm out.